All right, guys, welcome back to Chief Kirk for Kravology. This week, we're going to talk about your feet. I know that sounds weird, but we're going to talk about what feet do when we punch. We're pulling from the Krav Maga All-Strike curriculum here. We've got people working on it. One of the things we've discovered is that students don't understand what to do with their feet, where to point them and when to point them and why to point them in a certain direction. So we're going to talk about that today. Stay with me. All right, so let's talk about feet. What I'm going to do first is take a fighting stance. It's going to be in this position right here. My elbows are down. This hand is parked at my face. This hand is out 6 to 8 inches. And there are various ways people take fighting stances. I don't really care. Do what you do. But I'm in this position, right? So I'm going to throw a jab. We're going to move hands, body, feet, which is a Krav Maga sort of principle in and of itself. I'm going to shoot my hand out. When I do, watch what my left foot does. My left foot is going to turn so that the middle of my foot down to my toe and my shoulder right here both turn into this position. So my foot is generally pointing in the direction I want to throw my punch, and my shoulder has turned in that direction, and my hand is sticking out, making the punch. This is not hard for people. What's hard typically now is when I make my punch, if I keep this foot here, I may not want to if I'm going to throw a hook on the end of the right straight coming next. Then I have to move in a little bit, or I'll be short on my left hook. But if I was just throwing a right straight, what happens is this hip is closed. And as I turn this hip, it's harder to get this hip turned with this hip closed. It's not impossible, but it's harder. So what we try to do with people when we teach this is we're in this position. I'm going to have them pick their foot up, advance slightly, move in slightly because of the hook coming after the right straight. And this toe is going to point the direction that the punch or the lane, right, that the punch needs to go. So it's turned this way. It does this, okay? So now that toe is pointing towards the target, and my hand and shoulder follow, okay? So as I'm in this position, let me show you again. In this position, turn and fire. When I fire, my body rotates. I use my dots. That's dot here to connect, and I'm in right straight. If I pull this hand back and connect my dots here, this foot still has to rotate to the place or to the angle or direction that the punch is going to be made. So the middle of the foot at the end of the toe, the shoulder and the punch all point in the same direction to set up the punch. This does two things for you. It aligns the body in a way that's consistent with speed, power, and balance. And it creates an opening in the hips. It opens the hip to allow you to fully rotate and make not only the punch you're making, but also sets you up to then again turn and make the next punch. So the next time you're thinking about punching in combinations, I want you to think about what your feet are doing. We could talk about how the stance changes. A jab makes your stance more narrow, and as my foot turns off this narrow stance, I'm back to a wider stance, right? So there are lots of reasons to look at the feet and to do the types of things we're doing. So here's what I want you to do. Start paying attention to your feet and the direction your toe, the middle of your toe is pointed so that your shoulder can come around, the hip can open, and you can make a full punch, setting yourself up for your next punch as well. All right, thanks for watching. Remember, your feet matter when you're making combinations. Hey, be sure to check out Kravology, our social media sites, and as always, walk in peace.